One of the essential tools for providing security is policing. The police is the body specialized in protecting citizens and promoting communal living and other collective values. It's also endowed with special powers to exercise surveillance and control. Several things are required for policing to function well, but there are three fundamental ones: personnel size, technology, and statistics. Let's start with personnel size. There are studies and theories about the ideal size of a police force. The most successful are those that don't get carried away by the simplism that the more police officers, the better. Instead, they propose to achieve a balance between the ability of a police force to respond to emergency calls made by its community, in some way to have the capacity to react, but also the ability to be proactive. This means to actively promote safety, especially through the celebrated community police, which implies permanent contact between the police and the citizens it protects. Let's now turn to technology. Studies have shown that technology alone doesn't provide security. It's only when combined with the other elements of policing that it can enhance its usefulness. There are many technologies, but the following are fundamental. First, vehicles. They range from a simple bicycle to the most sophisticated helicopter, depending on each police force's budget. In any scenario, vehicles are handy for better policing of the territory. Second, information and communication technologies. Command and control centers and all computational technological aids are fundamental. When these elements are also associated with video, police activity is greatly enhanced through closed-circuit television or other devices that allow the police to capture video. Videos are also helpful to control the personnel when body cameras are available as part of the police uniform. Third, forensic sciences, biometrics, and DNA. All very important, but especially DNA, in recent years, is revolutionizing policing in those forces that have thrived on establishing good DNA processing laboratories. It's the technique that is helping the most to determine the cause of harm and solve crimes. The final input for good policing is statistics. Indeed, as we've seen so far in the course, statistics are essential for the governance of any policy. However, statistics are especially useful in policing and need to be of three types. On the one hand, the administrative records of crimes and other kinds of harm that the police consider important to plan and evaluate its activity. However, on the other hand, good policing also requires sample information collected through surveys to determine the level of victimization of a community, because very often administrative records underestimate or distort the level of community harm. Finally, surveys to evaluate the community's perception of security. The best policing, even with excellent results in preventing harm to society, can be ruined if individuals continue to perceive themselves as insecure. Therefore, it's essential to measure this perception and determine its causes. Some efforts have been made to measure police performance. For example, in 2019, the Global Police Index was introduced to estimate the effectiveness of the police service in 186 countries, including its efficiency, accountability, and corruption. This index places Finland's and Denmark's policing as the most inspiring. However, this indicator doesn't necessarily address the conceptual framework we just presented. A bit older is the effort of the International Police Science Association and the Institute for Economics and Peace, which proposed the World Internal Security and Police Index, or WISPI. A pilot measurement was undertaken in 2016. WISPI uses quantitative and qualitative data to assess the ability of police to deliver effective security services and the public's confidence in such services. Let's see how our sample of countries perform in policing. The graph shows WISPI results for our selection of countries in a 100 scale. Singapore ranks number 1 in our sample and the world with a score of 90. Prosperous countries like Germany and Australia also enjoy a highly efficient police service. The world average is 60, and many of our sampled nations are above this score. At the regional level, the South Asian and South Saharan countries are at the bottom of the list, with the lowest scores, below the world average. Latin America also performs poorly in policing, and the Arab world is right on the global average.